poor. That's a guarantee. And the generational wealth that you talk about, that you want to have, you'll never have it. You'll never have it if you don't learn how to take risks. You'll never have it if you don't step out of your comfort zone. You won't have it. You'll have a mediocre life, or what we call an average life. You'll just have an average lifestyle. You'll have an average everything. But you'll never have anything great. You'll never have anything that you can really leave behind to create wealth for those that come behind you. You won't have it. You can't have it. You've got to get comfortable stepping outside your box. You got to get comfortable taking risks. You can minimize risk. It doesn't have to cost you everything. I take risks. I mean, we take risk every day. We just don't think about it as risk, but there's a risk to get up and get in your car and drive on the roads and drive to work or drive to school. There's a risk to drive home. There's a risk to do pretty much everything in this life. But again, if you're not comfortable taking risks, you just won't have anything. And the reason I can say that is because the people who want to play it safe, they chase the safe things, the safe bets. Yeah, they don't play outside of the box, right? But the people who want to play it safe, what do they end up in life with? Just the things that were safe. And then most end up regretting that they played it safe. My advice is to not end up in a position where you regret playing it safe. My advice is to do something right now while you still can. And even if you take risks, and by the way, it doesn't have to be risks that cost you everything. It can be minimal risk. You can manage your risk. Manage risk. I've tried so many things to be successful in this life because I know 40-hour work week, that ain't gonna cut it. I know 40-hour work week, that's for the job, that's not for me. That's to benefit the company, that's not to benefit me. If the company can get a bunch of people to work 40 hours a week for however long they're in business, that company's gonna make a lot of money over a long period of time. But for the individuals that are interchangeable, going in and out of the company doors, work here for 5 years and then they're gone, then for that person, it's gonna be a hard life because you're just gonna go through life selling 40 hours to the highest bidder. You're gonna go through life selling 40 hours over and over and over to whoever's willing to pay you the most. And smash the thumbs up. You'll go through life selling your time to the highest bidder, right? And that's risk. You guys think that jobs are safe and secure. No, jobs are risky. In fact, jobs are very, very risky. They're so risky that I can guarantee you that the job that you have today and that you've been working the past year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I can guarantee you that company is working to get rid of you. They're using systems to do your job. They're using other people to do your job. They're using technology to do your job. They're using AI to do your job. They're using people from the other side of the world to do your job. They're using people that have migrated here in the past few years to do your job. They're gonna get rid of you. Especially if you're one of the highest paid, right? They're going to get rid of you. Why? Because they don't want to pay you. The risk to them is that you stay too long. The risk to the company, I told you, you cannot go through this life and avoid risk. There's no such thing. You risk all the opportunity in a lifetime by committing to a 40-hour work week that takes you away from doing what you were put here on this earth to do. That's risk. That's risk. There's some of you watching this video right now. You're stuck on a dead-end job, and you know you were only supposed to be there for a season, and there you are, stuck for a lifetime. Not understanding that, hey, you were not supposed to be here that long. You were supposed to come in here, do what you were supposed to do, make what you're supposed to make and get going. In fact, you were supposed to use the money from this job to start your own business, but you haven't done that. So I know how frustrating it can be to have a 9-to-5, and that is the only way that you make money. I know how frustrating it is to punch a clock day in and day out, see no gains in your life, no change in your life in the positive sense, struggling paycheck to paycheck. I know how it is to go to work on Monday, get paid on Friday, broke on Saturday. I know what it feels like. It is not a good feeling. But I also know what it feels like to take a risk and make a decision and say, you know what? I'm not going to make it anyway if I continue this way. Here, picture this. It drives me nuts, but picture this. People go to work 40 hours a week, save money in a bank account, whatever they can save, leave the money there until bad things happen. Use the money on the bad things, the emergencies, the rainy days, and call that success. I'm going to stack up money for an emergency, and then I'm going to go back to work. Think about that. How many people do that? You watching right now, you've probably done it before, said it to yourself. I have, so I know. Wouldn't it make sense? Now, this is going to check your thinking. I'm going to put your thinking on blast right here. I'm going to make you make a decision. Wouldn't it make more sense, as opposed to, well, you can pile money in the bank as much as you want, but wouldn't it make more sense to use the money that's in the bank to fund an opportunity, whether that be starting a business, getting into the stock market, getting into real estate, doing a side hustle, printing t-shirts, starting a moving business, a cleaning business, wall mounting, television, TV mounting? Wouldn't it make more sense to use some of that money to take some risk? I know you guys are scared of risk, and try to do something different, because looking forward, looking into your future, you already know what the 9-to-5 is going to give you at the end of this life. Not a whole lot. Well, wouldn't it make more sense to take some of the money that you have piled up in the bank, or some of the access that you have to money, and take a risk and try something? Aren't you tired of waking up every day, putting on your clothes, putting gas in the car, coffee in your cup, driving to that job that you don't like and they don't like you, doing a job that you hate and you know you are not put on this earth to do, helping this company to become rich and successful while you hate your life, going to the thrift store? There's nothing wrong with the thrift store, but shopping at the thrift store because you can't afford to go anywhere else. The thrift store really have some good bargains, y'all. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the thrift store. I go in there plenty of times, like if I need some gym workout stuff, man, I'll go grab some stuff, already broke it in. I love the thrift store. But we don't have to go to the thrift store. If I need something simple, I might go in there and grab something, but we don't have to. And thank God we don't have to, because there were days where, I had to, and it wasn't long ago. I had to. There was no Walmart. I got to go to this thrift store. Shirts in there, 99 cents. I got to go up in there. My wife can tell you, when I met her, I was shopping in the thrift store, and she had to get me out of shopping in thrift stores. She can tell you. I had nothing. She even took me to a thrift store one time. She was like, where do you want to go get some clothes? Because she found out I was homeless. She didn't know, because we lived in different states. right? And because we didn't live in the same city, she didn't know my entire situation. We met online. So by the time we started connecting, she was like, "Where are your clothes?" I was like, I don't have any. I was like, I got just a few items. And because I had lost everything, and she picked me up, literally off the streets when I lost everything. And she was like, we need to get you some clothes. And she took me to the thrift store and bought me some clothes because I had no money, no clothes, no anything. And you know how I ended up in that situation? Not the fact that something happened and I ended up homeless, but you know how I ended up in a situation where I didn't have any way to take care of myself? I ended up that way because when I had opportunities to do something, I didn't do it. I balked on it. I was too scared, too terrified. Oh man, I was terrified. I was terrified I'd lose the money. I was terrified the idea wouldn't work. And let me tell you, I've been an entrepreneur since I was born. This was a long time ago. I think my first entrepreneurial job, my daughter can tell you, Shania can tell you, she was like, my dad tried everything. Let me tell you, we were so poor one time. Well, we were poor a lot of times, but we were poor. And I had my daughter. I had the privilege of, raising her. Her mom and I, we weren't together, but circumstances allowed me to have her a whole lot more than her mom did. And I remember this Christmas, there was a Christmas, and my daughter was I'd say Shania was probably about 5. And she wanted some stuff for Christmas, and good Lord knows I couldn't afford it. I had no money to give her any of this. And so I got very creative a long time ago. I got very creative and I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Walmart and see if I can make her, because she wanted I want to say like a Barbie dream house or something like that. And that thing was out of budget. At this point, $25 was out of my budget. And I was like, I want to give my daughter a decent Christmas. I want to give her something she will enjoy. And so she wanted the Barbie dream house. And so I went to the store. I think the Barbie dream house back then was probably I'd say about 100, somewhere around about $100. And I couldn't afford that. And so it might have been even higher than that. So it was out of the question. So I was like, all right, what can I do for her? Can I build or create something for her that she can enjoy? So I was like, let me get creative, build something cool for her, and maybe she'll be okay with it. So here's what I did. I went to the crafts department in Walmart, and I got a trifold board. Yeah, the ones you do presentations on in school. So I got a trifold board. It's a true story. I cannot make this up. I wish I was making this up, but unfortunately I'm not. And I went and got this trifold board, and it was like, the board was like $1. Got the board, and I actually got 2. It was like $2-3 of material. I came home. I drew on the boards a dollhouse, colored it, everything. And I figured she wouldn't care. She just wanted something to play with. And I opened the trifold board, and I used the second trifold board, and I cut pieces out of the trifold board. And then I converted it into a dollhouse. I actually built it using the trifold boards. I built her a very flimsy, a very shady, but it wasn't a Barbie dream house. It was a Barbie scream house when I finished with it, because it was going to be a bunch of screaming when she saw how fragile this thing was. But I woke up one morning, got on the street, and Shania was playing with it. And I felt so good. I was like, oh my gosh, she's playing with it. She just wanted something to play with. And she's playing with it, and I still remember that, and I'll never forget that. But the reason I ended up in the position I was in, where I cannot go and make the financial purchases that I wanted to make, I believe a big part of it was that when I had opportunity and when I had a little extra money, I was so programmed to save extra money. I was never programmed to try things with extra money, to build things with extra money, to do things with extra money. Never try. I was always programmed to store it in a bank, and it wasn't even a lot. But I was always programmed, if you get extra money, here's what you do. You take it down to the banker, give it to the banker, and walk away. Well, I never asked, and I should have, and you guys should do this. You should be asking, well, when I leave it in the bank, what does the banker do with my money? Glad you asked, because I wish I would have been smart like you, and I would have asked that question years ago. Well, does the banker hold your money and just leave it there until you need it again? No, that's not how it works. The banks actually take your money and sell it. What? Yes. So the banks are in the business of selling money, because people always go, well, the banks don't sell anything. Yes, they do. Smash a thumbs up if you're feeling this. Banks sell money. Monty hunty, okay? Banks sell money. How? Well, they sell it in the form of a loan. A mortgage on a house is a loan. Credit card, loan. Right? When you go to the bank and borrow money, that's a loan. Banks sell it. Well, sure, they give it out, but how is it a selling transaction? How do they make money? Oh, interest. Yeah, see, they give it out and they expect a return. That return is called interest. So banks sell your money for interest. Somebody smash the thumbs up. I know I'm preaching better than y'all are amening. But banks sell money to other people called interest. And so when the banks loan your money out, free product, by the way, that you give them to sell, imagine if someone gave you free product to sell. Wouldn't you be rich? But we do it all the time to the banks. We just take the money. We work hard and give away the money. That's what we do. That's what banking is. Now, I'm not telling you that's a bad thing. Good on the banks for understanding how to do that. But I always say, look, instead of doing what the banks or the banker tells you to do, how about doing what they do? Yeah, see, the banks don't leave money in the bank. The banks are often empty. That's why if you go there to get your money out, they'll tell you come back. They don't have it. Banks are often empty because banks use up all their money during the day buying or trying to acquire as many assets as they can. And at the end of the night, what do banks do? They borrow money from each other. Yes, you didn't know that either, right? See, they teach us the history of art in school. Just dumb stuff that we don't need unless you have a particular interest in that. They don't teach us how to make money, how to use money to make money, how to invest, how to build businesses, right? How to utilize credit, right? How to become an investor, build a side hustle. They don't teach us any of that. How banking works. What's a mortgage? They don't teach you that. You know why? Because if they told you I always get a kick out of this because there's always people who don't know. The word mortgage derived from the French word, if I'm not mistaken, death pledge. Think about what I'm saying. Mortgage is a death pledge. The reason they call it a mortgage because who would want to buy a death pledge? Yet it's a death pledge. 30 years, 60 years, whatever you want to. We'll probably have 40, 50-year mortgages soon because they don't care how long you pay on it as long as you pay on it. Now, I'm here to shake things up. I'm here to rattle your cage. I'm here to feel Uncle Phil slap you in the back of the head, Carlton generation, and wake up. We got a lot of work to do. That 9 to 5 you're pursuing might not be there tomorrow. What are you going to do? Well, if they let me, no. There is no if they let me. They will let you go. But here's what I need you to understand. We're not waiting to find out if they're going to let us go. Nah, we're not waiting to find out. We're on the move. We're already hedging. We're already protecting ourselves. Hedge is just a barrier against insurance, right? We're already protecting ourselves. We're already, a hedge is just protection. That's all it is. So we're going to hedge ourselves. We're going to protect for what we expect to be coming one day, now or later. We expect to lose our, if I'm at a 9 to 5 today, I expect to lose my job one day very soon. I expect them to lay me off. I expect to get fired. I expect them to sell the company and no longer need me. I expect downsizing. I expect the department to close. I expect my job to be moved into AI. I expect someone who's willing to work for less to take my job. I expect them to pass my work on to someone else and have them double work for the same pay. I expect all of this. I expect the owner to wake up one morning and decide, I don't want to do this anymore, shut the business down. I expect all of this. What I don't expect is safety and security. I don't expect safety and security. I don't expect my job to be there long term. And now that I've tempered my expectations, now that I understand there's no such thing in this life as safe and secure, it ain't there. It wouldn't be life if it was. It'd be a computer program pretty much. There is no safety, there is no security in this world. You can live in great neighborhoods, and I've had the privilege of living in one and moving to another, and I'm talking about amazing, awesome neighborhoods. There's not a moment I think we're safe and secure. Not a moment. And I can be surrounded by millionaires, and in the neighborhood I'm in, I am surrounded by a lot of millionaires. Still don't think it's safe. There's not a day where somebody could just flash out, lose their minds, and do something crazy. Not a day. Not a moment. We live in a day and age where somebody could walk into an elementary school and harm kids, or daycare and harm kids. I always tell my wife, this is the anything goes era. Anything goes. Don't for a second think the worst thing is not. It's possible. We walk into restaurants. I don't care where I am. I could be in the Waffle House. I don't sit certain places in the Waffle House. I do not sit, because all Waffle Houses are close to the same. But I do not sit, like if you walk into the Waffle House and you have to go all the way down by the register and then all the way to the little side bar area and sit there. I don't sit there. You know why? Because there's no escape route if I go there. I only sit by the bathroom side. It's the only place I sit, so I can see out the doors. So if someone comes in who's trying something stupid, me and my family, we can exit quickly. When I walk into Walmart, I'm looking, where are these exit doors? How quickly can we get out of here if we had to? I'm always thinking about, hey, anything can happen today. Where are our exits? How can we get people out of here quickly? Where are the bathrooms if we have to take shelter? Where is this? Where's that? And just a couple years ago, I wasn't even thinking that way. It wasn't even on my mind, but now it's subconsciously programmed. And I get this from a guy, I'm going to give him credit, guy, Derek Grace. I heard him talking about that on the internet, on YouTube, which is my favorite channel. What's your favorite TV channel? YouTube. I'm always on YouTube. My wife can tell you we got no cable. We got a couple apps where you can watch movies every now and then. We don't really get to do that because we got young kids. We don't even need a TV except to play Coco Melon. So if you're a parent, you got young kids, you know, if you know, you know. And Gracie's Corner, and I'm shouting them all out, and Dee Dee, and Steve and Maggie, and stuff like that. So that's where my channel is. So I want you guys to understand that it's okay to take risks. I want you guys to understand that you can minimize risk. You can manage it. Say, for instance, you have $10,000 in the bank. You don't have to go and take one $10,000 risk. Yeah, risk is risky. It's also risky not to risk. In fact, it's probably riskier not to risk, because if you don't risk anything, you'll never have control of your life. So if you have 10 grand in the bank, you might take 1,000 and try something. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, you still got 9. You're like a cat. You still got 9 lives. Still got 9 of those $1,000 risks you can take. And they don't all have to be $1,000. I'm just making an example. They could be $500 risks. You could build a website for $500 and start your business, see what happens. Well, it didn't do anything. That's okay. It's only $500. And more importantly, you're learning how to take shots. Remember that Lizzo song, shoot your shot when you see him, or something like that? A lot of you don't shoot your shots. You're so afraid of taking shots, you'll never get anything done in this world. I heard a pastor say one time, he said, you don't have to have the baptism with the Holy Spirit to be saved, but it is the power of God. And he said, what happens is, if you don't have the baptism with the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues, he's not talking about when you get saved and the Holy Spirit comes to live in you. He's talking about the baptism with the Holy Spirit, which is a separate event. He said, you can be saved without it, but chances are you won't do anything great for the Lord because you need that power. You'll still go to heaven, but you won't be able to do anything significant for the kingdom of God because you need that power. And I say the same thing about those who don't take risks. You can make it in this life without taking risks, right? You can have a job, you can pay your bills on time, you can work a 9 to 5, you can take care of your family. You can do it, right? But guess what? Just like you need that power from the Holy Spirit, you need the power from taking risks, the power of opportunity that can create something that can change your life, revolutionize the way you live. Risk is power. Those who don't take risks, they get robbed of their power. Sure, they can make it through this life, but they won't do anything great. They won't accomplish anything great. And you're probably sitting there going, well, I don't have to accomplish anything great. What if you were put here to accomplish something great? What if your family needs you to accomplish something great? What if your kids want you to do something great so they don't have to start at zero? I want to do something great in this life so my kids don't have to start at zero. I want to do something amazing in this life so my kids don't have to start from scratch. My young kids right now, 4 and 1. I'm not going to put them out when they turn 18. If they want to go to college, I don't push them into college or anything like that. If they want to go, that's fine, but they can stay home as long as they need to. We push our kids out as, hey, as soon as you make 18, you got to go. And then you push them out into what? The struggle life. How are they going to take care of themselves? They've never lived taking care of themselves, and now you got them out there, and it's struggle for them. And it's frustration for them. And all you're going to do is break their spirits, and they're going to come back home embarrassed and sad because they were sent out that was a no-win. Now, I want to do something great for my kids. I don't know about you, but I want to build something great for them. And I know job punching a clock is never going to give me the opportunity to do that. I don't talk about retirement. Why? Because I have no plans to retire. I don't want to sit around doing nothing. I could almost do that now. The business makes enough money where we don't need jobs. We don't need paychecks. I can sit around now and do nothing, but I won't. Why? Because I don't want to sit around doing nothing. That's not how I want to live. I want to enjoy life. I want to live life. I want to love life. I want to do fun things with my family. I want to travel and eat good foods and, do a bunch of cool things. And we're going to be doing that very, very soon. Very soon. You can start seeing us post these videos if I'm still on YouTube. I don't know. I'm about to launch another business in January, so we'll see what happens. I can't guarantee I'll be on YouTube. But I can guarantee you I'm launching another business with some friends in January, and we're going to see what happens. We believe it's going to be something awesome, something amazing, and we're going to have a great time. I'll probably tell you about it as we go, but maybe I won't. I don't know. But I heard a guy say this, I believe it to be the truth. He said, poor people have the least to lose and they never take risk. And he said, rich people, they have the most to lose, and they always take risk. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. All right, guys, I'm here to check on the house progression, and it looks beautiful. They're going to build a huge amenity center right in front of our home. It is going to be awesome. Got a lake on both sides. Looking at the house, looks great. They're going to build a huge amenity center right in front of us. That's why we took this corner lot, and cannot wait to see it come to fruition. Cannot wait to see how beautiful it's going to be. I would show you, but a lot of you guys are nuts. So I got to go and do a walkthrough, and I'm about to do that now. So I'm going to pull up to his house, go check it out, go do a walkthrough because we got to meet with the builders. And it's going to be amazing. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. House looks awesome. And I'm going to go check it out real quick. Oh, I apologize. I'm still on. Listen, guys, I got to go. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. If you want me to keep posting videos on this channel and just keeping it real, I'll do it. This is Keep It Real Finance, Keep It Real podcast, man. Just keep it real. Keep it 100. Keep it 1,000. Keep it 1,000,000. If you want me to keep posting, just let me know in the comments. If you agree or disagree with anything I say, let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. And if you guys want to get into the free live training, the last one I'm doing for the year, where I'm going to teach you how to use your phone to make money. I keep telling you, your job cannot be your only source of income, because if you lose your job, you lose everything. So let me help you to use your phone to make money. I've been doing it since 2020. That's all I do. I call it a middleman business. Meaning what? Meaning you're the middleman. You don't do the work. You simply find customers for other companies. That's all you do. You connect the customer to that business, and you're done. You get paid every time you find a customer. Now, how does it work? Very simple. So I middleman for moving companies here in Dallas. I also middleman for coaches here in Dallas. Well, really around the country. We're just getting started on that. It's called CoachConnect.com. I middleman for coaching. If you are out there and you have a phone or you have a laptop, you can make money on it. Here's what you do. You pick an industry that you would like to middleman. You don't have to use moving. You can use any industry. Go to middlemanceo.com and look at my list of middleman companies that you can choose from. Those are my favorites and how much they pay per customer on average. I make $150 every time I book a customer. If I book 3 customers in a day, that's not a lot of customers, but I just made $450, right? With really no overhead. So if you would like to learn, if I book 2 customers a day, I make $300 a day. If I do that for the month, I make $9,000 for the month, right? So imagine that, 2 customers a day, right? Some deposits, some commissions are more than $150, some are less. $150 is what I do. Hit thumbs up if this is making sense to you. But if you have your phone or you have your computer or your laptop, you can make money. If you're sitting in Starbucks, you can make money. I can teach you how step by step. That's all I do. Ask my students. Watch the videos I post. My students will tell you. I teach them how to make money from their phones. That's it. You don't have to quit your job. You can do it part-time. It's not hard work. So you can choose home cleaning. You can be in that industry. You could be in carpet cleaning. You could be in TV mounting. You could be in television. I'm sorry. What do you call it? Appliance repair. You could be in car cleaning, vehicle detailing, and window tinting, window cleaning. You could be in any category you want to be in, as long as it's a service industry. By the way, it's recession proof. So you could be in any industry you want to be in. It's up to you. Choose it. You might already have friends who do home cleanings. You can partner with them. You might already have friends who do moving. You can partner with them. You might already know someone who does carpet cleaning or junk hauling, trash removal, all that. You already know someone. You could partner with them. All you do is find customers for them. So what I do is customers who need to move, contact me. I get their information, I book them, I take a deposit. That deposit is $150. Hey, before I get you scheduled, we take a deposit $150. How would you like to pay that? They pay the $150, that goes into my account. Then I take the information, reach out to all of my ISPs, or what you guys would call contractors. I call them independent service professionals. Reach out to them and say, hey, I have a job available in Dallas on this day at this time for this amount. Who's available? And then usually 10 of them, everybody's available. But I usually give it to the first one. Hey, sorry guys, it's already been taken. I'll keep you posted on the next one. That's it. I got $150. I didn't leave the house, and I'm not going to do the work. You guys can do that. Book, deposit, dispatch, you can do it. I do it every day. It makes me money. Then you hire your VA who does the work for you, and it gets even better, right? And then I teach you how to scale, because if you can make, let's say you make something small, you only make $3,000 a month in your city. Well, what happens if I can teach you to scale to another city? Now you're making $6,000, and then another city, and now you're making $9,000 a month, and now your life is changing because you're making money without having to go to work, because you don't do the work. If you want to get into the last free live training of the year, this is my Christmas gift to you. It's absolutely free. Get in there quickly, because I'm only letting a certain amount of people in, because I'm giving away something really cool at the end. Get in there, put middleman in the comments to get the link to get scheduled or to get your seat, or just click the link in the bio or the comments below. Reservation link is below. Grab it, get in there quickly. If you do not get the link, or if you click the link and it goes nowhere, that means we're full. So move quickly. I gotta go, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed day. See you on the next video. Peace.